Welcome to Idea TV News at 9. I am Mary Ojimajo. We begin with the headlines. Federal government cracks down on certificate fraud. MTN and UNHCR partners to expand digital connectivity for displaced persons in Africa. Gas shortage-driven Nigerians' power generation below 4,000 megawatts. Paratus, Zambia deploys Starina NGFWA to deliver fiber-class wireless connectivity nationwide. And away from Africa, Gulf Arab states shifts from diplomacy to defensive action amid Iran conflict. U.S. turns to Kurdish rebels as Iran uprising falls. In business, Dangote Cement signs $1 billion deal to expand African capacity. In health, NAFDAC warns Nigerians about fake HIV test kits. Still in health, Futa Teaching Hospital seeks stakeholder support for development. And finally in sport, WAFCON 2026 in Morocco postponed to July. Now the news in full. The federal government has tightened regulations on academic credentials, mandating full compliance with the Nigerian Education, Respiratory and Data Bank across all credible tertiary institutions. Education Minister Dr. Maruf Tunji Alausa announced on today that NERD now governs verification of academic records, including the National Credential Verification Service, National Credential Revolution Service, and a centralized repository of these abstracts and publications. Compliance is now a must not only for participants in National Youth Service Corps but also for accessing service from TED Fund and NUC, NPDC, and NCCE and ITF. Dr. Alausa highlighted that the move aimed to comb certificate fraud, citing cases of Nigerians obtaining fake degree from uncredited institutions abroad, including universities in one-room apartment, issuing PhDs in 6 months. Within 4 months of rollout, NERD has registered over 133,000 students, 680 lecturers, and onboarded more than 250 tertiary institutions, preserving nearly 100 digital student records. The initiative also created over 3,000 jobs through more than 1,000 digital service centers in participation with Nigerian digital entrepreneurship. Now, the Telecom Grants MTN Group has signed a multi-year agreement with the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees to improve access to mobile services and digital connectivity for refugee and internal displaced persons. The initiative was announced on Tuesday, March 3, 2026, and will first roll out in Rwanda, Uganda, and South Sudan. The program aims to overcome barriers such as lack of recognized ID, high device and data cost, and weak network coverage in displacement settings. MTN UNHCR said the initiative will also provide access to mobile money service, helping displaced populations stay connected, access assistance, and maintain economic participation. Nombilo Morafo, MTN's Chief Sustainability and Corporate Affairs Officer, said digital access is a basic tool for dignity, protection, and inclusion. The participation is part of the broader Connectivity for Refugees initiative launched in 2023, which seeks to connect 20 million displaced people across Africa by 2030. And still on that, Nigeria's electricity generation has fallen to 3,940 megawatts earlier today. The Nigerian Independent System Operator, NASO, reported, citing persistent gas supply shortage affecting Hamal power plants nationwide. Several generating units were forced to shut down between 6 a.m. and 8 a.m., reducing available capacity by roughly 292 megawatts and worsening power deficit already flagged in February 2026. The plant requires more than 1,588.61 million standard cubic feet of gas per day to operate at full capacity, but annual supply currently stands at only 652.92 billion cubic feet, about 40% of demand. The shortfall has constrained plant operation, contributing to inadequate power supply in multiple regions, while the NESO continues to implement operational measures to maintain grid stability. And moving forward, Maratus, Zambia, a leading provider of data center, cloud, and connectivity solutions, has launched Tarrant's next-generation fixed wireless access technology, marketing its first deployment in Zambia. The rollout enables high-speed fiber-class connectivity without the need for extensive physical fiber infrastructure, expanding access for homes and businesses nationwide. The Tarana platform delivers link capacities of up to 1.6 Gbps, maintaining strong performance even in congested or high interference environment. According to Marius Van, the technology enhances speed, stability, and overall user experience, allowing Maritus to meet Zambia's growing digital demand effectively and reliable. This deployment reinforces Maritus Zambia's commitment to innovation and digital inclusion as part of the Pan-Africa Paratus Group. By integrating advanced wireless solutions, the company aims to support the country's digital transformation, offering faster connectivity to businesses, families, and underserved areas while reducing reliance on traditional fiber network. We'll go on a quick break now. The news continues when we return.
Continuous Threat Exposure Countermeasure, CTEM. CTEM tools enable organizations to continuously monitor and address vulnerabilities in real time. This proactive approach helps businesses stay ahead of cyber threats and comply with security standards. While CTEM systems are improving cybersecurity, managing them can be resource-intensive. Sectors like finance, healthcare, and government are adopting these tools to protect sensitive data.
Welcome back. If you're just joining, this is Idea News at 9. Now the rest of the news. Now away from Africa, Gulf Arab nations, long advocates for US-Iran diplomacy, are increasingly taking military measures to defend their territory after Iran targeted key infrastructure including airports, oil refineries, LNGs, terminals, and residential areas. Qatar shot down two Iranian jets approaching its airspace, making the first military clash between an Arab state and Iran, while Sudan Arabic responded to attacks on Aramco International Airport and the U.S. Embassy. This development signal a shift from meditation to active defense by Gulf states. Analysts said the transformation was rapid. Within 5 days of the conflict, roughly 1,800 roughly 1,800 Iranian missiles and drones were intercepted in Gulf airspace, with 100 backing through. Local missiles, defenses, and air forces, rather than foreign allies, have managed most interceptions, although limited U.S. and French assistance is present. Gulf officials said exploiting offensive measures, including forward deployment of jets and the possibility of opening airspace for U.S. operators against Iran, while carefully balancing the risks of being drawn into a wider war. The conflict threatens to uphold years of rapprochement with Iran, altering regional diplomacy. Officials emphasize interference without full engagement alongside Iran, Israel, and the United States. Oman and other states continue to advocate for diplomacy to contain the war, highlighting the tension between protecting citizens and avoiding the broader military entanglement. Analysts warn that Gulf states must carefully manage actions to avoid revisiting or prolonging more conflict. The United States is reportedly engaging with Kurdish-aimed group in northern Iran and northwestern Iran, exploiting the possibility of aiming them to spark an uprising against the Iranian government. This follows the failure of President Donald Trump's calls for a popular revolt in Iran after the US-Israeli strike, despite widespread economic protests which had not translated into armed resistance. Thousands of Iranians have insisted rallies in support of their government, mounting Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali and victims of the attack, signaling strong domestic solidarity. With hopes of inciting a popular uprising, the US officials are considering leveraging Kurdish rebels who have a history of opposition to Tehran in Iran's area, provinces, and across broader regions as a proxy force to stretch Iran's military resources or seize northern territories. The Trump administration has engaged Kurdish leaders, including Brazilian of the Democratic Party and the Taliban of the Patriotic Union of Kurdish. While no formal agreement has been reached, the move reflects a potential alternative to deploying U.S. ground forces following a long-standing pattern of U.S. cooperation with Kurdish military in Iran and Syria for strategic objectives. And now in business, the Pan-Africa cement producing Dangote Cement, controlled by billionaire Aliko Dangote, has signed a $1 billion contract with China's Sinoma Engineering to build new plants and modernize existing facilities in several African countries, including Nigeria, Ethiopia, and Cameroon. New production lines will be added in Nigeria and Ethiopia, where Cameroon could see either an expansion of the Douala plant or the revival of long-delayed no Nanomion project. The Nanomions plant, originally postponed in 2015 with a planned capacity of 1.5 million tons per year, received government clearance in 2024, but construction has not yet started. Dangote Cement has not confirmed which option will be pursued under the new Sinoma deal. The investment aimed to strengthen the company's footprint aimed at growing demand for cement in Africa. Cameroon's cement market is highly competitive, with multiple players including Cimenterie du Cameroon and other countries. National products new approaches 12 billion tons, exceeding demand estimated at around 8 million tons. Price remains high, leading authorities to suspect possible price fixing among producers, as highlighted by Commerce Minister Loh and the other ministers. And now in health, the National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control has issued a warning to healthcare providers and the public over counterfeit and unregistered version of the Vistec CD4 advanced disease test kit circulating in Nigeria. The alert was posted today, March 5, 2026, highlighting risks to public health from falsified products sold through unauthorized channels. NAFDAC explained that the genuine test kit is manufactured by Acobio Limited and distributed locally by Aerospace International Nigeria Limited with NAFDAC registration number A3100153. Counterfeit kits falsely listing Omega Diagnostics Limited as manufacturer carry no registration number and differ in lot numbers, expiring dates, and packaging. The agency has instructed zonal directors and state coordinators to remove counterfeit kits from circulating and urge distributors, retailers, healthcare professionals, and caregivers to verify authenticity, buy from licensed suppliers, and report any fake drugs. Still in health, the Federal University of Technology Akure Teaching Hospital has called on stakeholders to support its growth and development initiative. The hospital, celebrating its first anniversary today, March 5, 2026, aims to become a leading center for medical research, training, and advanced healthcare delivery in collaboration with local and international partners. The Pioneer Chief Medical Director, Professor Olusegun Ojo, highlighted that the hospital produce skilled healthcare professionals across multiple disciplines, while also planning specialized services such as emergency intervention, cancer care, dialysis, and other surgery. He stressed the importance of research centers, ethics committees, and international recognized publications to drive medical innovation. Professor Ojo invited volunteers, NGOs, businesses, and community leaders to partner with the hospital through donations, infrastructure support, and advocacy for improved health policy. He acknowledged early funding challenges but praised the Ondo state government and traditional leaders, including the Oba and order that supported. And now finally, sports. The Confederation of African Football (CAF) has officially postponed the 2026 Women's African Cup of Nations in Morocco, moving the tournament from March to a new window between July 25th and August 16th. The decision followed consultation with FIFA and other stakeholders to ensure the smooth organization of Africa's premier women's football competition. CAF cited unseen circumstances affecting preparations, including finalizing venues for knockout rounds, accreditations for officials and journalists, and promotional activities. The governing body expressed confidence that despite the delay, the tournament will be successfully delivered. The rescheduling gives defendant champions Nigerian Super Falcons additional preparation time after a recent two-match friendly series against Cameroon. WAFCON 2026 will also double as Africa's qualification pathway for the 2027 FIFA World Cup in Brazil, with the four semi-finals securing automatic bats and another team entering an international play-off. And that's all we have for you on Idea TV News at 9. But before we go, here's a recap of the headlines. Federal government crackdown on certificate fraud. MTN and UNHCR partners to expand digital connectivity for displaced people in Africa. Gas shortage driven Nigerians' power generation below 4,000 megawatts. Paratus, Zambia deploys Tarina NGFWA to deliver fiber-class wireless connectivity nationwide. And away from Africa, Gulf Arab states shifts from diplomacy to defense action amid Iran conflict. U.S. turns to Kurdish rebels as Iran uprising falls. And in business, Dangote Cement signs $1 billion deal to expand Africans' connectivity. And in health, NAFDAC warns against about fake HIV test kits. Still in health, Futa Teaching Hospital seeks stakeholder support for deployment. And finally, Sport WAFCON 26 in Morocco postponed to July. Do not forget to follow us across all our social media platforms at Idea Television. I am Mary Ojumajo. Thank you for watching.